Okay, hello. It's another great evening that we welcome you to this platform. Uh, hashtag the talk with Maya and Alicia. Basically, this platform is all about engaging youth in matters, youth and leadership, youth empowerment, and healthy intimacy and relationships. Uh, Today we'll be discussing about recognizing your worth. And I hope this meeting gonna be fundamental and impactful. So I like you, my brother. I'm Maya, and my co-host is Alicia. And Alicia, you can start over.
Oh, thank
Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, sure, you can go on.
yeah. Thank you very much, my precious brother Maya. It's a great
Yeah,
and it's another great evening that we are going to go through this fundamental topic, a very important topic about identifying your worth as a youth.
absolutely.
Allow me to start the talk by saying this: we do not get to choose how we start out in life, or we do not get to choose the day we are born or the family we are born into. What we are named at birth, what the country we are born in, and we do not get to choose our ancestry. All these things are determined by the higher power. By the time you are old enough to start making decisions for yourself, a lot of things in your life are already in place. It is important, therefore, that you focus on the future, the only thing you can change as far as a change is concerned. Before I start today's conversation, allow me say that ask these questions to my fellow youths. Do you value yourself and recognize yourself worth enough? How do you feel about yourself? What do you think about yourself? What's self-worth to you? Basically, self-worth is simply defined as the level of importance you place on your life. It is an emotional outlook that determines what you feel about yourself in comparison to other people. Self-worth is fundamental and very important part of our being as youths and people at large. And it controls the way we see ourselves, everything we do about or emotions we feel about ourselves or about our other people outside there, may it our friends, may it our family members or schoolmates, people at large. And even the way we act in a product of what we value, we place ourselves by ourselves.
Absolutely. That's so powerful.
Yes,
Uh, and
yes.
and like before, it's very hard for people to actually realize what their value is. I can say like we have to actually realize that we as youth, we're such a powerful tool, and then I can say that we are intrinsic being. We have that power that if you're able to realize our worth, and we are able to know our value principles, and then we are actually able to do things that are great things and magnificent things. So I bet it's such a fundamental topic to begin with. You need to start with that self-realization and reflection. um, Before you know your value, you have to know your instinct, your capabilities. I
Yes.
mean, what you're good at.
Yeah, true. And as a young man or as a young lady, you must recognize or know what self-worth really is in our lives. Self-worth, it can be somewhat of overwhelming to see yourself of what yourself are without assets or dreams, jobs or dream friends. I mean, for some people, it can be agonizing that they would do anything, but comes to this stage of awareness, there also exists a higher possibility for one to become afraid of becoming self-aware. It is natural for
Yeah,
human being to elusive of this sort of fear of pain. This process is necessary for the discovery of yourself. That's the whole of self-worthiness, and you should never avoid it because understanding yourself or knowing yourself, as I can put it, is a very important stage in life. Beyond every seemingly pain, emotion is an entirely of freedom. And the first step of this journey is self-awareness in everything, or or identify the course you want to do, identifying the job you want to do as a young man, identifying a friend that you want to have, the friends that you want to surround yourself with. First, you have to identify yourself, and that's what we call self-awareness. This is the key of finding self-worth. Self-awareness helps you want to identify his self-worth. So self-awareness and self-worth, those are two interlinking things which are very important.
Yeah,
in a young man.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yes. And also not to forget about self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. Are you comfortable with yourself? Are you courageous? I mean, are you able to determine your worth, So self-awareness, self-esteem, and self-worth, I think they are very important things to note about yourself, and they actually interlink.
Yeah, absolutely. Being on the same topic of self-esteem or self-awareness, self-worth, everyone has a mental picture of what they want to be. Basically, like me, I have a self-picture that I want to be in future. My friend has a mental picture that he wants to see himself in 1 year to come, 2 years to come. That's a mental picture that you have put in your mind. Sometimes this person is not who he or she is. It's okay to have ambitions and life goals as a young man. As it's very important to have, it's common for a young man, young lady, a youth somewhere to have self-ambitions, but never let your dreams make you deny yourself. Self-denial is an enemy to self-worth. That's the first thing.
Absolutely. Yes. And then there's, just as you were saying about, there's something about before you reach to that self-worth, you need first to forgive. Forgiveness is very fundamental, and it's a vital necessity to liberty. So without forgiveness, actually, you have no liberty to life. So you find that you have to forgive your regrets. You have to not worry about your regrets, and you have to move forward without guilt nor hesitation. So as long as for you to attain that self-worth, for you to be actually proud of yourself, you have to be comfortable with yourself in each and everything that you do, and you have to be very confident and assured. Assurance is also key. So I think these are things that are interlinking, because like someone can ask you, like, what is your purpose?
Yes.
Yes. This is a question that it's very hard to answer, and if you ask many youths, they don't know how to answer that question.
Absolutely, because you must have a purpose in life. Purpose it's everything that can drive us, can drive me as a young man, can drive you as a young man, is purpose.
Yeah, it's a very powerful drive, and it's very hard to know or to realize your purpose if you don't know your self-worth.
Absolutely. In addition to that, it's only self-worth is not a bad thing for us as young people. It only makes you accept your weakness while you learn to focus on your strength. Yes.
Yeah, instincts.
Yes. Because as my friend said, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forget about the past to be more self-worth. Some of the things strength lies undiscovered, and until we become self-aware about ourselves, we'll be unable to bring them to the light. Not until you forgive yourself of the past, you cannot understand yourself. One self-worth, you can either be your own best friend or your worst enemy if you can't recognize yourself at the end of the day.
Absolutely. In fact, it's all about you. When it comes to self-worth, it's yourself.
Yeah,
it's about you. So you don't have to let people define your worth.
Yes.
I mean, not everyone loves you, and not everyone loves your progress. So if you let people define your worth, you'll always be gutted and you'll be disappointed.
Yes.
And they'll always, and this is something that has emotional connection. So when they break that emotional connection, you like your self-esteem is lowered, and then you start forgetting who you are, and you start reacting maybe emotionally. And that's the worst thing that you can do, reacting emotionally to the situations that happens in your life.
Sure.
So it doesn't have to reach to that level. So what I can say is that you need to internalize this and know that it's about your value. So you need to come up with your key principles, you as a person. And then when you outline and you have that self-awareness that you were talking about, now you're aware, you recognize, and you lead. That's all about management.
Yes. And
you're actually managing yourself.
Yes, and if one always keeps on postponing or delaying on his past, this will only keep you delay your freedom. This will only keep you as a young man, as a young lady, to delay your freedom and healing power. Because if you rely on the past, you can't move. You can't have a principle of the future.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so basically what we are talking about, self-worth truly comes when you fully understand who you are and what strong potential you possess. Yeah, so once you understand the potential you have as a youth, I believe all things are possible at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yes. So the next allow us to take you through how to recognize your self-worth as a young man, as a young lady, as a student somewhere who is dealing or struggling with this. So you finally yes. So you have finally become self-aware, but you don't feel good about yourself. Nothing excites you about you. You think you are just an average person canceling through life without nothing special to offer. You start to feel, you start to feel like you need validation from determine your self-worth. You want to achieve a task or even take a quiz to measure your self-worth. What you should know is that self-worth first comes from within. Self-worth comes from you.
Absolutely. We have to internalize it. Yeah.
Yes. So the first thing, internalizing, finding your strength. Strength is self-worth, comes from finding qualities you excel at. What are you best in? What can you do as a young lady, as a young man? These qualities will be a constant reminder whenever you start feeling like you are not worthy enough. If you like, if like you are taking a certain course, you are not good in a certain unit, but you have a unit that you are best in, that whenever you fail these other units, there is a unit that can encourage you to keep pressing on as a young man or as a young lady. These are things like a list of your talents, things you like about yourself that makes you stand out, challenges you have won at, how you have helped other people, and other great reflections are examples of questions you should have answered to you. Your strength lies in those.
And most importantly, having a lot of reflection about yourself.
Yes.
It's very fundamental and it's very key. You need to reflect about yourself. When you take that moment, you have to create your own world, and you have to create a connection within yourself, and you have to start realizing you as a person, like what do you love? What are you good in at? What are you good at? Just the way you're saying, talent.
Yes.
This is the basic thing that many people have been able to realize their worth from their talent, because like this is what they love doing. And when you learn to love what you are good at doing, or what you are capable of doing, you'll find everything is easy. And these are the things that when you find you are perfecting in them, they boost your morale and you feel happy about yourself. And when you feel happy about yourself, absolutely people will be happy about you.
Yes.
So for talent, it's very key to determine your self-worth.
Yes.
And people really need to go for their capabilities, because in this world, we're young and we have different gifts and capabilities. So we need to dig in more into what we are good at doing so that we feel confident and comfortable. And when we feel confident and comfortable, that brings about self-esteem. And when we have a higher self-esteem, we feel like we are worthy and we are morally acceptable. So yeah, that's evident. It's actually evidently and fundamental.
Yes, I that's as much as identifying your strength is concerned. There's a danger of comparing yourself to others, the danger of linking yourself with things.
Yeah, I know.
You make unhealthy decisions when you keep looking for validations in things and people. You want to compare your worth to somebody else. You want to compare your progress to somebody else. The initial state, as we started the conversation, we said we were born differently. We were born in a different day. We were born by different humans. We were born with different purposes. And
we have different capabilities.
Yes, and it's up to us to identify our purpose. You never get to see yourself for the potential field and robust person you are when you compare yourself to somebody else. Looking for external validations will only frustrate you as a young man, as a young lady. You set yourself up for a chain of disappointments because of trying to compare your progress with somebody else somewhere. Place your worth on your inside. You are the best person you can compare yourself with. Compare your progress with yourself, because compete within yourself, inside yourself, because here we are different humans with different purposes. You might compare or compete with your brother, your sister, but he is up to a different purpose. He's here for a different purpose that he was ordained for. So it is the key of leading a healthy life by competing within yourself and not within other people's selves. Yes. So
like just as we said, even when you look at our bundle, we are saying that in the past we've actually been mentored, but the most fundamental things and the question that we should ask ourselves, are we able to like ask ourselves some fundamental questions like, what are we capable of doing and how can we do what we are capable of? We can be mentored, and we every day people get motivations elsewhere, but it's all come to us, about us. It's for you to realize that and to take that bold step and say that I am good at it and I can actually do this. So it starts with you before you be mentored. It starts with you mentoring yourself first.
True.
So after you mentor yourself first, it will be very easy for you to move forward and to get other motivations. So that's why we were saying that we should engage you in such talks that we realize and we identify our capabilities, so that when we get that motivation elsewhere, we are good to go because already we have motivated ourselves.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So basically, what we are saying,
and then not to forget, just the way you were saying about coping up with pressure. So we should not actually be a mere shadow of others. We have to have our identity, our self-identity. We can't keep on coping. Like, you see people having better relationships and you want to have a better relationship. You want to have same relationship as them, but you don't ask yourself, how can I create this better relationship? You as a person, how can you create that better relationship?
True.
So you see, these are there are so many questions that you need to ask yourself first before you start coping up with how people are living out there.
True. So basically what we are saying, our friends outside there, is that on your journey to recognizing yourself, never compare yourself to anyone. By comparison, you rob yourself of self-awareness and block your channel of seeing your strong potential. Comparison only measures worth by other people's standards. How about creating some rules on your own? Creating rules that can make you move alone. That's why we said
you having your own principles.
Yes, that's why we said before you even have a mentor, identify your self-worth. Know what you want. because even that mentor himself or herself has got his own moving principles that are making him move, and that also he might be having different different worth. He might be having a different perspective of life as the one that you have.
I bet for mentors, they're just there to give you a clear guidance, and then with that clear guidance, you should come up with your own principles. You know, it's like give you a staircase, but you know how you're going to step on those staircases. So you see, one step by another step, but you don't have to be their shadows.
Yes.
Yeah. So particularly, yeah.
Yes. So basically, young people never doubt the process. Reassure yourself that your journey to your self-worth will be the most rewarding experience of your life, without comparing yourself with anybody else outside there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So in the next stage, let's take a look at some practical ways to boost your self-worth. As we said earlier, do a talent or skill inventory.
Yeah.
Everyone has got something good to offer. Human possess can learn mind-blowing ability. What can you offer? Take a stock of yourself and gifts. What can you do best?
Yeah. Just to add on that a bit, sorry to interrupt you. Just it's good to say like a little bit bad in a good person, and there's a little bit of good in a bad person. So
absolutely,
it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how people take you, but you have something to offer.
Yes.
So even if you're that bad person that people say this is someone you can't interact with, you know, you don't want to stay close to them and all that stuff, but you'll always have something to offer.
Yes.
And that's something, if wherever be it small, it is very impactful.
Yes, that goldish part in your life, the goldish percentage in your life. What are those cool things you do openly as a young man, as a young lady? When do you identify your abilities? You suppress your weaknesses and give voice to your strength. So once you identify all these important strength parts, what you offer, this gives you strength to recognize yourself, and this boosts your self-esteem.
Secondly, and there's nothing good like having self-esteem.
Yes. And secondly, as we said when we started this conversation, pardon yourself. You have to forgive yourself of all your shortcomings that you have done in the past.
It's liberty to life. It's liberty to life. Remember that.
Absolutely. Learn from all your past mistakes. Mistakes are for you.
And
don't fear.
Don't have regrets.
Don't fear to make mistakes. If you keep feeling guilty or ashamed, you will never have a healthy sense of self-worth. So, learn from your mistakes. Thirdly, take risks.
Very key, yeah.
Yes. The only reason you haven't done something great for yourself is that you are still wondering whether or not you should do it. Never be afraid to take risks to become a better version of yourself. Stop doubting your abilities and go for it. You want to run a startup? Go for it. Don't complain you don't have finance. Start, go for it. Take a risk. If you don't succeed on your initial trial, you will only have learned how not to fail next time. Get up, do great things, because great things have to start from somewhere.
And just to add on that, like nowadays, many youths want to live fast. I mean, they don't have that perseverance and they don't have that patience. People want to make it like they want to make it like tomorrow.
Yeah.
They don't want to give it time. And it's very key to to have patience, in whatever you do. As long as you know that you're working on something, you just have to believe in what you're doing. And you have to have that assurance that as long as you keep these factors to make sure that you fulfill your purpose, you're going to make it, no matter when, no matter how.
Yes, in fact, as the great phrase says, nothing comes on a silver platter. That's the same thing here. You have to struggle for it. The next thing, as we said, is self-love. Love yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. If you have negative qualities, work on becoming a better person. Never make the mistakes of living in denial. Also in this time of the epidemic, you will only be delaying your freedom. Love yourself. Know that you can make it. Know that there's potential in you. That goldish part in your life. Identify it. Fifthly, surround yourself with healthy people. Healthy people.
Absolutely.
What are your
That's
friends?
very fundamental.
Yes. Because we know health attracts health. Health habit can run off as much as negative ones do. Surround yourself. Yes.
It's like saying that surround yourself with healthy people. Like when you want something, you have to know how to attract it. So when you want something positive, to be in that positive vibration. And then when you are in that positive vibration, you'll have to attract positive things. And when you attract positive things, your life will be positive.
Yeah, in fact, it's just like us. We had a very positive thought to start such a platform. You also had the very thought. So like thoughts attract each other. So surround yourself with the change you want to see. Be with people who have overcome the doubts they have about themselves. And like you, all you also as a journey to recognize self-worth, the people who have gone through identifying their self-worth. It is crucial for everyone to lead a healthy life physically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and otherwise. By evaluating our self-worth, we have to consciously take steps to build and develop ourselves or sense of regard for each other. More importantly, for ourselves. Yes?
Yeah, I get you.
Yes. Health self-worth is a source of deep and lasting satisfaction in life. So health self-worth is a source of deep and lasting satisfaction in the life of any young man, any young lady outside there.
It's like that when you first make yourself more wonderful and more amazing, you'd find yourself attracting amazing things. They just draw.
Yeah, sure.
They just come back to you. When you're wonderful, you'll find yourself attracting wonderful things to you. You don't have to look for them, but they just come to you.
Yes.
I mean,
and above all, being positive. Above all, being positive, that you can make it. Yeah. By saying that, our final thoughts.
I bet we've really discussed a lot about self-worth, and it's a very good stuff to start with. To talk with, before you talk to people, you first need to talk to people who know themselves and who understand themselves. So this topic was very fundamental and very essential to youth first to realize what they're capable of. So after someone watches this, they should just take reflections with themselves and ask themselves some certain questions and realize what is their self-worth, what is your purpose, what are your capabilities, how are you different with other people, what do you have to offer. And you need to take all these reflections and to not only to take reflections, but after you have all those reflections, you need to work on each and every reflection that you took. Now, how can I make myself wonderful? How can I attract positive vibration? And how can I get what I want? If you don't know what you want, how do you even get it? There's no way you can work on what you don't know. So you first need to start with realization. It's very key. Realization, and then action, and then reflection. Reflection is always fast because that is what gives you an insight.
Yeah, true. Okay. From my end, allow me to say that it's worthy to note that you will begin to lose friends on your journey to recognize your self-worth.
let me interrupt you there. You know, it's always said that when you want to make a change or when you want to make a difference, you'll not impress everyone. And if at any case you're impressing everyone, then you're not making any difference.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. That's why I said it's worthy. Note that you'll begin to lose friends on your journey to recognize your self-worth. People with low self-worth find solace in each other's company, and so your newfound confidence might become threatening. It's okay. Ensure your growth process inspires them, people with low self-worth, but do not hesitate to keep a distance from anyone who does not support your growth. So young people outside there, identify your purpose. Be positive. These are the key things to make you moving. These are the better things that will help you identify your self-worth. Self-worth is the key principle in all the talks that we'll be holding in this our platform. So take your time to identify yourself. Why are you here? Why were you born? Because we are told being born was not our choice. Being on this country is not our choice.
It's not our choice,
Yes, but we have to make a choice of our tomorrow. Burdens
and we have
based on us and for our tomorrow.
Yeah, and by those choices, we have to make a difference.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we have to because we are very powerful. I know we are very powerful, and I can see that even when you observe the political state of the country at the moment, they are going for the youths.
Yeah,
because they have realized that these are the powerful tools.
Yeah,
so we need to know first our value principles, and you know that our value principle we won't be taken for granted.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
sure. So young men, young ladies outside there, identify your potential that you have in you, because dig deep down to identify your potential. As the gold is mined, they have to dig deep down to get the potential of the gold. Take your time, dig deep down to identify who you are. Why are you born? Because each and every individual was born by a purpose. By doing all that, you identify your self-worth. Be positive, take your time, and you are the change that you want to be done. God bless you.
Yeah, simply be the change that you want to see in this world, because we are the future leaders of tomorrow. So if you don't make a change, who will make that change? You know, change has to begin with us.
Yeah.
And we need to be the change that we want to see. So we're not doing this for us, but we're doing this for our grandchildren. This is something that our grandparents did do for us. That's why we had to go through all this that we're complaining about. So we should leave that behind us. We say that we need to forgive ourselves, our past and stuff, and we need to start a new journey.
Yeah,
we can say like a new dawn.
Yeah, true. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your leader, Elisha Caleb. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Yeah, sure. And I'm Maya Bonnie, and I'm actually happy to be having this conversation, and I hope that it's going to be impactful, you know, to anybody, no matter who it reaches. It's evident that we want to make a change, and because we're the future leaders, so we're the future makers. We need to start having such conversations, because we youths need to have our conversations. They don't need to lead us in a conversation.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Before we engage in any other conversation, we need first to engage with ourselves, and then we can join the bigger conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Sure. Until next time, be the change you want. Thank you.